Okay, subject that I'm very passionate about. Antinatalism. Now, this is something that gets thrown out there that gets a bad rap because I think most of the people that feel this way have a moral stance, a spiritual stance on why they feel this way. The reason that I feel this way, by not wanting to make more life and bring it into this world, simply is because I do not want that life to suffer. Okay? Now, there's probably a lot of people that feel this way that actually hate people, that hate humanity. And I can understand that. But personally, that's not me. When I say that I am anti-natal, I'm just saying that I do not want to create life to bring it here to suffer. I guess, going through my own suffers, with alcoholism, drug addiction, just knowing what I know now, definitely would not want to put another life in forms to suffer. Sorry, I just strongly feel that way. I think that when you have a child, you're trapping another soul into this reality, and then they have no choice. And they weren't asked if they wanted to be here. They're brought here not from a selfless act, but actually from a selfish act. Because the parents, the mother and the father, are thinking of themselves, and they want a baby. Not, is this baby going to thrive in this environment? Are they not going to suffer? And that's obviously not the case. I mean, even if you have $1 billion, that child is still going to suffer in some form. Remember, you can't really buy health, okay? You don't know how that child is going to come out. You don't know the problems it's going to have. So my solution is simply just don't create it and make the problem. Now, in the animal kingdom, animals, they don't know any better. They are on a biological clock. They are much simpler programs than us, and they just automatically reproduce because they don't have the capacity to think about what a human can, that this life is probably or definitely going to suffer in this realm, okay? This is a hellish realm. I'm sorry. These are the facts. And, everybody has a different outlook on things, but if you were born, say 5,000 years ago, you would have been taught that you're coming into the underworld, okay? You're coming into a hellish realm. They called this place Earth hell, okay? That's in the Bible, and they say it's somewhere deep under the ground, but you have to understand something, that above is heaven, okay? So down here, when you come here, your energy, it falls, and it comes into an embryo, and your spirit comes into one of these meat sacks that we call a body, and it becomes alive, and it becomes conscious. What I'm saying, okay, I'm not against humanity. I like people. I definitely don't want people to suffer and be in pain, of course. I want everybody to be happy, but the reality is this place is not created that way. It is created for you to suffer. And if consciously you know that, and then you create life, I mean, what are you really thinking? Like I said, you're being selfish because you're not thinking of that other life, okay? My whole point is I don't want anything to suffer. I've gotten to the point, honestly, my dog passed away last March, and I look at people with dogs now, and I think about how my dog suffered. People are breeding these animals, every day, and they're suffering too. Now, you take a wolf and you genetically modify it down into a dog, And you created it so we can have something to do. We created it so we could have something to do. And I understand that. But at the same time, is it fair to those animals to just keep breeding them and creating them? No, because we know better. We're in control of that. If a wolf is in the wild and they multiply, that is nature. They don't know any better. Okay, we know. We know better. Now, yeah, sure, maybe it's cool to have a child. Maybe it's fun. But like I said, are you really thinking about what is going to happen to that child? Personally, I think if anybody has a child, even if they're 50, 60, 70 years old and you're still alive, you are responsible for that child until the fucking day you die. Because you brought them here, you are responsible. No, not till they're 18, forever. Forever. You have a responsibility to that person. Okay? They don't have a responsibility to you, but you have a responsibility to them because you created them and you brought them here. Okay? I'm going to be honest. I have a fantastic relationship with my parents, and I don't blame them for me being here. Some people that are into this movement blame their parents for being here. Come on, that's stupid. Especially in my generation, back when, in the 70s, when people had babies, that's what everybody was taught. There was no internet. There was no way to get information like we can now. Now, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You should not be multiplying. Enjoy your life, and that's it. Just don't make something else come here and suffer. Like I said, I'm even to the point I don't even want dogs to be bred anymore because they just come here and most of them, 99.9% of them suffer and die. You get some people that really take care of their animals. Like, I was one of those people. I put her before me because that's just what I did. But most people don't do that. And these animals suffer. And the children suffer. The children that are born into this world and their parents, they abandon them. That is the most horrific act you could possibly do, is to have a child and then abandon them. How could you do that? If there's anybody out there listening to me and you've abandoned your child, how can you even live with yourself? Just do me a favor. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are into this movement that just maybe they don't want to admit it and come out and talk about it. See, I've been through so much. I don't care anymore. I don't care what people think. They can judge me. I know myself that there's only one thing that can judge me, and that's the creator of this earth. But if you want to judge me, I don't care. But do me a favor, before you have a child, just think. Think really hard. You're going to bring something here, and they're going to suffer. So I think just not bringing something here is the solution, is the answer to that. I'm sorry, it's a harsh reality, and it sucks, but unless this world was turned into a heaven, and you would know very quickly if it was, then I would consider multiplying and having children. But this world is a vicious succubus. It's a black fucking hole. Okay? Please, just don't create things and bring them into this hell. Just don't do it, okay? Think before you act. Condoms are very easy to use. I learned to use them years ago, and guess what? It caused me a lot of non-pain and non-suffering, and also caused my unborn children non-pain and non-suffering. I don't want anybody to suffer. All right. Take care, everyone.